Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that's being called the key to unlocking the next generation of AI, causal representation learning. We're going to break down what it is, why it's such an incredibly hard puzzle to solve, and honestly, why cracking it could be one of the biggest leaps forward for science, period.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. When a pioneer like Bernhard Scholkoff calls something the next frontier, you know it's a really big deal. But to get why this is the new frontier, we first have to talk about the huge roadblock that current AI has slammed right into. And that roadblock? Well, let's call it AI's correlation crisis. It's the real reason why these AI models that seem so brilliant can all of a sudden fail in the most spectacular and kind of baffling ways. I mean, think about it. The basic playbook for most modern AI is pretty simple, right? You feed it a gigantic pile of data and it gets incredibly good at spotting patterns. And as long as the new stuff you show it looks just like the old stuff, it works like a charm. Yeah, but the real world, it doesn't play by the rules of the training data, does it? The world changes. And when our AI runs into something it has never seen before, what we call an out-of-distribution event, its greatest strength, that amazing pattern matching, suddenly becomes its greatest weakness. It just breaks. This isn't a new problem. It's the classic trap. Go back to the 1950s, the data showed a crystal clear link between smoking and lung cancer. But just seeing the link wasn't enough. The real multi-billion-dollar question was, does smoking actually cause the cancer? Or is there some other hidden thing, like a specific gene, that makes people more likely to smoke and more likely to get cancer? And that is precisely the trap our AI systems are stuck in today. They are absolute masters at seeing that A and B happen together, but they have zero, and I mean zero, understanding of why. They can't tell the difference between a random coincidence and a fundamental law of cause and effect. So this crisis sets the stage perfectly for the hero of our story, Causal Representation Learning, or CRL for short. And this is a seriously ambitious quest to teach machines not just to see patterns, but to actually understand the rules of the game. So let's really dig into this definition, because the magic is in the details. We're not just talking about finding causal links between concepts someone has already handed to us. No. The real game changer with CRL is starting with something totally messy, like the raw pixels in a photo, and forcing the AI to figure out for itself what the truly meaningful variables even are. Let's make this more concrete. Imagine an AI looking at images from a microscope. A normal AI might just learn to label them sick cell or healthy cell, but an AI with CRL, it goes so much deeper. It starts to think like a biologist. It discovers these abstract hidden concepts, these latent variables, like the idea of cell health or nucleus size, all on its own. It's learning the principles that create the pixels in the first place. Now, that sounds absolutely amazing, right? But here's the kicker. The part that's so tricky, it almost feels like a riddle. On a purely mathematical level, this whole task, it should be literally impossible. Let's see why. Okay, so the standard approach here is to use a model like an autoencoder. It's pretty cool. It takes something complex like an image, and it learns to squish it down into a tiny set of its most essential features. These are our latent variables. Then it tries to rebuild the original image using only that squished down information. So if the AI can rebuild the image perfectly, its job is done. Mission accomplished, right? Well, not so fast. This is the whole problem, the million-dollar question. How do we have any clue if the variables the AI just made up are the real ones, the ones that actually matter in the real world? And this is where we hit a massive mathematical wall called non-identifiability. It turns out you can take the nice, clean set of variables the AI learned, and you can put them in a mathematical blender, mix them all up into a new tangled mess. And that new jumble-up set of variables, it can still reconstruct the original image perfectly. And that's the knockout punch. There aren't just 2 or 3 possible sets of variables that work. There are literally an infinite number of them. From the AI's perspective, they all look equally good. It's lost in an endless sea of possible answers, with no compass to point to the one that actually reflects reality. So, if the AI is lost in this infinite chaos, how in the world can it ever find the one right answer? Well, this is where the detective work begins. Researchers have come up with some incredibly clever tricks to give the AI a fighting chance. What they do is add extra clues or constraints. They give the AI a toolkit. For instance, they might tell it, hey, the real-world variables probably act independently. Or, let's see what stays constant even when things around it are changing. Each one of these clues is like a filter that helps rule out millions of those bogus infinite solutions, hopefully zeroing in on the right one.
Let's take the multiple environments idea, for example. Back to our cell. So you look at it under normal conditions, that's environment A. Then you add a drug to it, now you're in environment B. The raw pixels, the image itself, it looks totally different. But the fundamental laws of biology that govern that cell, they haven't changed at all. And that consistency across change is the golden clue that allows the AI to pick out the real, unchanging variables from all the noise.
So, after all this hard work, what's the big payoff? What's the point? Well, there is this beautiful analogy that really puts it all into perspective and shows why this is so much more than just a technical fix for AI. For more than 1,000 years, humanity's model of the universe had the Earth right at the center. And you know what? It kind of worked. It could predict where the planets would be. But to make it work, it needed this absurdly complicated mess of circles rolling on top of other circles called epicycles. The rules were a nightmare because the model's fundamental variable, its center point, was just plain wrong.
And then Copernicus comes along. He changes just one variable. He puts the sun at the center. And just like that, poof, all the complexity vanishes. The messy epicycles are gone, and what's left are these simple, elegant, universal laws of gravity. By finding the right coordinate system, the tangled mess of the world suddenly became simple.
And that is exactly what causal representation learning is. It is the search for the right coordinate system for reality. It's this deep belief that if we can just find the true underlying causal variables of any system, the rules that govern it will suddenly become simple, powerful, and easy to understand. Which leads us to one final, pretty wild thought. If we actually succeed, if we build an AI that can look at a bunch of raw data and find its sun, its true causal center, then we're not just building a better AI for recommending movies. We might be building a whole new kind of scientist, one that could uncover the simple, elegant laws hiding in systems far too complex for any human brain to ever untangle. And that, well, that could change everything.